In this video, you're going to join me in my playthrough of the Resident Evil 2 one-shot demo. Welcome to Streaming Deluxe. My name is Mr. Orange and welcome back, my friends. It has been quite a long time that I was actually recording a video with commentary and everything. So I'm so happy that you're back. And yeah, let's join me in my little playthrough of the Resident Evil 2 demo. As you can see here already, I started. So first actually I actually tried to play with the controller, but then I found out that it's much better to play it with mouse and keyboard since there's no there are no issues with mouse acceleration or other typical issues you sometimes get when you play a console port on PC. So it all works very well. So I'm super happy. And also, what you also have to say to the port, you can't see it now in this video, but it's the options menu. So there's so much to change, to modify in the graphic settings in the options menu, and that is pretty nice. So I mean, I would say Resident Evil 2 is not just some cheap console port. It's definitely very well made for PC. So yeah, in this video, yeah, I was also playing this demo and it's about 30 minutes, so I would say, or I think that most of you already played it through too. And I mean, every Resident Evil fan immediately played this game, so it's quite some time that I played it. So I was actually I'm a bit late starter here, but I think what is more important, we're going to have a nice discussion about Resident Evil and about Resident Evil 2 in general. We're going to check out some of the reviews on the Steam store page. We're going to talk about the history of Resident Evil 2 and maybe also about my first experiences with Resident Evil 2 for the PSX, so that's the old PlayStation. So let me maybe first start with my first experience of Resident Evil 2. So I think it's back in, when was it coming out? In 1998. So in 1996, the PlayStation, the first one, the PSX with the codename PSX, came out, I think, in Europe. So, and I was, I was loving Resident Evil, the first one. So it was one of my favorite games at this time. And it was for me then absolutely clear I have to get the new Resident Evil 2. And I was ordering the anti-SC version, so that's the so-called US version of Resident Evil 2. And as I'm in Europe, I normally would have bought the PAL, so the so-called PAL version of the game. But at this time, you had some specific TVs, and if you had the anti-C version and you were playing it on let's say your PlayStation was region locked and you had to use maybe a ship or a so-called swap trick, and my PlayStation at this time did not have a ship yet, so I couldn't play import games from the US or Japan so easily, so I had to use the swap trick. And then there was another problem I had with the cable, so my image of the game was actually in monochrome, so it was black-white and gray tones, so, and it was also not colorful. So my first experience with Resident Evil 2 was playing it after a crazy swap trick where I completely destroyed my disc itself, because you have to open very quickly your PlayStation, and then you boot it first with some normal PAL European version, and then you open very quickly, your PlayStation, and you're going to swap it then. So you swap the CDs and the disc, and then it's booting perfectly nice. But as I said, mine was then in Greytown, but I played it very much very much a lot, I think. And then I was buying some special cable. I do not really remember. It's now for me like, yeah, it's like 20 years ago. So Resident Evil 2 comes 20 years after the first time it came out. So, and if you compare now the graphics of this 2018-19, or it's now 2019 Resident Evil, with the back in the days the 1998 Resident Evil, even that this is now all live rendered, it is much better than back in the days. So yeah, that's my experience, my first experience with Resident Evil. And as you can see here, I'm trying to solve run riddles. So good, I'm telling you some stories, but I think the lightning effects are extremely well made. It looks good, and it plays very quickly, very fast, and I kind of like it more than the Resident Evil 7. But on the other hand, Resident Evil 7 was of course a much more scary experience. So I think Resident Evil 2 will be a typical action adventure, survival adventure action experience. Maybe not that action orientated like Resident Evil 6 or Resident Evil 5. So the series developed very much into, at this point of Resident Evil 5, it was very much developing into an action orientated direction. Than with the Resident Evil what was it, not Resident Evil 0, but the other Resident Evil. Oh my god, I forgot the name. So the one that's very action orientated and super funny Japanese stuff. So it's very popular. Some people really love it a lot. So I did not play it so much. The one that came out, I think it was it for some Nintendo console? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and at this time, so I was playing Resident Evil 2. I think I still have the old version, the old game. I have no idea if it's still worth something, but I guess they were selling millions and millions of the old NTSC US version of the Resident Evil game. And yeah, I had all these Groundhog Day moments, those deja vu moments when I was playing. I felt like, you know this, and you know what's coming. It's coming next to you. And this was actually really cool to have those moments, and knowing that that more or less you know the direction of the game. But I have to say, I do not remember all the details of the story. So that's definitely way too long ago. And since then, I was also not playing it anymore. And yeah, it's actually a pity that there was never really a Resident Evil 2 remake in the sense of the Resident Evil HD version, which was made extremely pretty. I think it was for the GameCube back in the days, so they were HD rendering some of the backgrounds, and you can also buy it on Steam, which looks pretty nice. So, but now on the other hand, so with all real-time rendered in this Resident Evil 2, I mean, there's absolutely nothing to complain about. So I was playing this demo, and I have to say, at one point I was hurrying up a bit. So actually I wanted to just to experience and to examine everything, to read everything and go in every room. But at one point then I was hurrying up because I wanted to really finish the demo within the 30 minutes. So I think that's also kind of the purpose of this demo, so that we can make nice little speed runs. So maybe, is it actually true? I didn't try it out, so I was not playing it a second time, I think, I think it's true that you can't play on the same Steam account or PlayStation account. You can't play it a second time, so you only have the right to play it one time, and then it's done. So if this is if this is the case, so it's a pretty, I mean, yeah, I understand that's how you do it, but on the other hand, I mean, why not playing it again? So do I have to make a second Steam account? You have to play it on my second Steam account, so this would be a little bit weird. Yeah, and here it starts now. So we're getting this dude, so he gets flashed here and we were pulling him out of his misery, and yeah, oh my god, I mean, this is disgusting. This is sincerely disgusting, and that's how it starts. So, and now I'm happy actually that I have my gun, and yeah, it's more around 10-20 minutes left, and so found something. I mean, this looks pretty nasty. So I play it in, yeah, I forgot to mention the option menus. The graphics settings are all on ultra for me. I was turning off chromatic aberration. Yeah, I always spell it incorrectly. I was turning off motion blur, film grain. So those are the three filters I really dislike in my videos. So that's really something I absolutely can't stand. So it's annoying. So all right, and I think now, yeah, now let's head back and let's see what's going on there. Okay, my friends, so jumping to the store page of Resident Evil 2 Biohazard, and we have over 10,000 reviews, very positive reviews. That's amazing. So the game, I think the game is coming out now on the 25th of January, so, and the demo came out 10 days ago, so on the 11th January. And I think it's very cool that they have a known page for Resident Evil 2 for the demo, and so it's not mixed up with the final game later. So you see Capcom is absolutely doing well here. Yeah, sometimes you see I shoot a bit. Yeah, I aim, but I don't really get the guy, so I'm shooting a bit aside, so that's weird. I think maybe it's just a form of. So here it works actually very well. So maybe it's just the zombies that move, have weird movements. So I have to study those movements a bit better, that I can always hit with my headshots. So, what are people saying on Steam? So, they say, I miss the voice over the title screen, so that's the most popular review. 312 people like it, so oh hell no writes this. So, Metropeel writes, time to make multiple Steam accounts so I can play this all over again. LOL. Golden writes, I demo in 2019. What? Yeah, I mean, we have to absolutely salute this, that Capcom is coming out with a demo. I mean, this is in 2019, not so normal anymore. Well, I would say in 2019, this is what we call demos are now, alphas, betas for multiplayer games mostly. So some sort of demo still exists, but the demo for a single player game became rare at one point. But on the other hand, I think other games like Prey, also Resident Evil 7 had a demo. So it's still a popular way of marketing promotion of a game, especially if the developer and publisher, if they're 100% sure about the quality of the game, they love to push out some demos. And yeah, I'm sure we're going to see much more of this in the future. Another person, Thunderstorm, writes, will Resident Evil 3 remake? Thumbs up for making Resident Evil 3 remake. 208 people then were giving him a yes, a thumbs up. So it's a nice trick to get some more thumbs up, of course. Resident Evil 3. I mean, let's talk very quickly about this. This was Resident Evil 3 is the Resident Evil Nemesis. I have to admit, I like Resident Evil Code Veronica for the Dreamcast much more, because I mean, Resident Evil 3 Code Nemesis was cool. The story was very good. Also the environment, the setting, the graphics, very nice. But personally, I have to say, this Nemesis, he was so going on my nerves. He was so annoying. So you constantly had to flee from him. I mean, if you have a possibility to play Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, check it out. It's a bit more pain in the ass than it actually was fun. So, but yeah, of course, I mean, the more the merrier, so I would be happy to see also Resident Evil 3. Why not? They should bring it out, and also maybe a Resident Evil 1 with this kind of graphics.
Got it.
So not with pre-rendered backgrounds. Guns Rights finished demo in 16 minutes, so you're going to see how long I take here, but I didn't take 16 minutes, so he really was rushing through, my god. Resident Evil 2 was my first PlayStation 1 game. Gameplay and graphics are awesome. Zombie AI is great and can't wait for it. Already pre-ordered, so yeah, you can get quite some good prices if you check a little bit on the internet. If you Google a bit for Steam keys, you can find some very nice prices. So I'm not recommending it, but I'm just saying, if you think that the prices are 60 years a bit expensive at the moment on Steam. On the other hand, Steam sales ahead, like every year, like all the time, and I'm sure you might get it at one point also for 30 euros, or even already in 6 months it might be already available for 30 years for half the price. Rusty writes, this is a smart move from Capcom. If you weren't won over by the initial announcement and accompanying promotional fluff, then this 30-minute demo would probably do it. For old Resident Evil 2 fans, it hit you right in the nostalgia bits when you first entered the police station. I went from a may buy to a probably definitely will buy, although that high price point is still off-putting. If you haven't already watched a more successful, less annoying YouTube, but play through this demo, so hello, here I'm the annoying YouTuber, then feel free to check out my video. So yeah, he also made a video, so it's a common thing. I'm also uploading this in my review of the demo. So yeah, that's how it goes. So everyone is playing this game and uploads his run, and I think that's the fun part. So you, on the one hand, you can watch it, and you can also hear the opinions of other admirers of the Resident Evil series. And yeah, let's just have a little chat about Resident Evil and enjoy this game. I mean, that's all for the game. So yeah, I was a bit confused how I would actually get down there, but I think I needed some more of those plates. Alright. Justin the Gamer writes, I'm already in love with this game. Solitude writes, Capcom, you have impressed me again. You never fail, damn it. This game is actually playable on my low spec PC. I can't even call this a gaming PC to begin with. Might as well play this on a potato. But it works. It works like the hand of God touched the game to run on my PC. Definitely will buy this game. It just happens that I finally got a job even while still studying, and this February I'm sure to get a new CPU. Wow, thank you dude for the story, amazing. A new GPU car can wait, but the CPU upgrade will probably do for a while. So yeah, I play it here on a Titan X, which is comparable to the old 980 Ti. So that's the Maxwell Titan X, and I played on a very old i7 3820 CPU. So pretty old machine, and I play everything on Ultra. So we're still in the same console generation since 5 to 8 years. I mean, that's been a pretty long time, guys. So, and I told myself, so until the point when the new consoles would come out, until this point I'm not upgrading my PC. But the moment new consoles come out, I'm going to upgrade my PC. I think that's where it's going to be absolutely necessary in order to enjoy the newest games. But at the moment I think I can play everything perfectly fine. I would say if playing Fallout 4 VR or Skyrim VR would be better with a faster PC, and on the other hand maybe also some 3D vision games would be much better playing them with a faster CPU, especially since the CPU is very old. And I think I was using here 8.59 video RAM. So that's very cool. Most people never had this much video RAM in the past, so it was very, very cool actually. With my Titan X, I could already pull it up very strongly. So, MK back, right, so good, can't wait for the full release. I guess if I had to change anything, and maybe this is just because I kinda suck at shooters in general, it would be that I'd like zombies to be a little less superhuman. For example, less HP, even if there were more of them. Other than that, I think it's exactly what you'd be looking for in both a Resident Evil release and or a remake of the classic. They definitely take a lot of bullets. I think you can say this. They take a lot of bullets. I don't know why, so I think Capcom could change this a little bit. I mean, shooting a zombie like 5-6 times with the gun in the head, maybe 3 times should be enough, and they just walk around like nothing happened. Okay, sometimes they fall and then they get up again, but I think this is maybe critic point here. We found a critic point. Make the zombies less a bullet sponge. Let's see if we can see it here. No. Okay. That's very cool how he loses actually parts of his body, of his head. Okay, that's very gory. So if you're under 18, turn it off right now. You shouldn't watch this. Or under 16, depends on your country. So this was a place where you can lose so much time. So I was reading what to do, but I was immediately finding out, okay, I shouldn't lose my 30 minutes time here. And then you have those achievements with the time counter popping up, and they say you already played 20 minutes, congratulations, you already played 25 minutes, and this is the moment where you know, all right, I have to really hurry up and I shouldn't play those little puzzle games. I'm not a big fan of those puzzle games. Normally I think I was finishing Resident Evil 1, the first one. I was finishing it with a German video games magazine. I think it was called video games. And there was some solution in the magazine, and I was finishing the game with it. Otherwise, I would have been too stupid to solve those puzzles. I'm not a puzzle person. I think as far as if you have seen some of the videos on my channel, you would expect this, or you would know this. So I'm much more an action gamer. So another review. Vicious Symbiote writes, oh, he already played 7.3 hours. That's weird. He played it several times, or he was just leaving his PC on. So what is he writing? Hard to remember Resident Evil 2 as I was young, but after completing 30 minutes demo I realized this is going to be much more than what I can remember. Fresh off of completing Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 7, the new Resident Evil 2 feels like it complements both of these games, delivering great jump scares and eerie feel throughout the game that we've all come to love. I can't say much yet as it's a demo, but it easily gets a 9 out of 10. It would have been a 10 out of 10. It would have been 31 minutes long. Smiley face, great game. Can't wait for full release. That's actually an interesting point. So this game is now 20 years old. So not this remake, of course, but the old one, 20 years. Who of you guys have been around 20 years ago and already playing PlayStation games, Resident Evil games? I think most of you, of my viewers on this channel are between 25 and 34 years old. So then I think you would have been around already at this time, but most of you maybe even super young, so you have played this maybe way later than you were playing it maybe on the PlayStation of your brother or your father, or I don't know. She was sleeping. And yeah, if you had some nice Resident Evil experience like I had it with my NTSC version, with my US version, and the swap trick, so please write it in the commentary sections. I'm absolutely thrilled to read it, since that's really the nostalgia moment for me, and I'm always going to remember my whole life how I was doing the swap trick with my US version of Resident Evil. Yeah, later the swap trick was useful to play also some other games, but that's a bit more far down the road. When I was 2 years, I think the PlayStation was 2 years old. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, over 10,000 reviews, so most of them are extremely positive. So what is another person writing here? New Year Bateman writes, alright, I'm sold. God, I love the new Resident Evil games. This engine is lovely. The gameplay is smooth. Speaking of smooth, it runs amazingly. Either attribute this to it being a corridor indoor game or good optimization. Yeah, that's true actually. It's just a corridor game. I only had to turn down about 3 settings from ultra to high and it ran like a charm. So yeah, for me the same. So I mean, maybe I had some tiny frame drops. So as I said before, that's mostly related to the age of my CPU. But it runs absolutely nice. And then he writes, shooting enemies while your guns feel a bit dinky. So dinky, what's that? Dinky seems to be something like clunky. So I'm not a native speaker in English, as you already heard. It's more satisfying than ever. The detail put into a zombie head or body, giving you a new way to watch its head get blown off chunk by chunk. It's insane. The gore is also really horrible, disgusting and realistic. Usually I don't really mind, but God, the one scene with the officer, just yuck, yikes. I did not get to experience the Resident Evil games in their prime, but I'm definitely loving these newer ones and the remakes. Once I find a co-op partner, I will probably be getting the co-op games as well. So he's maybe talking about Resident Evil 5. And then regardless of the shaky foundations and the other games, once I get some more scratch. I've been completely pulled in by Resident Evil 7 and this one just sealed the deal completely. For now I understand why people love this series so much. I do not have any outstanding complaints from this demo, no issue was found for me, and I do not find any choices made in design which was frustrating or not fun. Keep in mind it's only 30 minutes, perhaps there's problem somewhere down the pipeline. The 30-minute thing actually works, do not worry, the time does not tick down while you are paused. Enjoy the time you have. I certainly did, and I will be buying this game. So I'm already at 28 minutes and I'm here in the library. I remember this library back in the days. A pretty difficult part of the game actually. Ah, damn, this game looks nice. Zack. Great. So that's the library. Library end fight. This is Resident Evil, kids, writes someone. Then Camille Retro Gamer writes, I've got tears in my eyes when I played this demo. I'm waiting for this remake so many years. Resident Evil 2 was my first survival horror game on PS1 and most favorite today. That game loved so much nostalgia, so much good memories. Thank you, Captain, for this demo. Still love it for the waiting for the full release. Alright. So, my friends, what do you think? What do you think about the sound? What do you think about the fighting, the game mechanics? Son of a bitch. Do you actually still enjoy? Do you actually enjoy watching people playing the 30 minutes video all over again? Have you have you watched several of those videos yet? So I hope, if not, then I hope you enjoyed my video, but if you have, then I also hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, leave me a commentary, leave me a thumbs up. You can also, I love the engagement with the community, that's very important. I answer like on 95% of all the commentaries under my videos. I'm uploading daily. I'm uploading a lot of different formats, gameplay, game trailers, and 30 minutes are over. And I make reviews, previews, and like this review of this game now. And yeah, there's always a lot of content on my little channel that I love to grow a bit, since as I said, it's just so cool having this engagement with the community, to share all the games I have, to share all the knowledge I have when it comes to gaming, and just enjoy life. So thank you for playing. Oh my god, guys, this was a very long video, so 31 minutes. So thank you very much for watching. We're leaving it here. I wish you a wonderful day. See ya.